Boxing Voice.
Live here with Larry Merchant. Well, obviously, Larry, I wanted to ask you because your boxing knowledge it goes back many years when boxing was on regular television, and Al Heyman and a bunch of kind gentlemen are doing that this year, bringing back boxing to primetime television, and they put on some pretty big fights. Did you get wind of the schedule for NBC Sports? Hello, Larry, you there?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I was talking up a storm thinking you were there. But anyway, I'm glad that we're here, and I do want to ask you, because your knowledge of boxing is so goes back so many years. You can remember the day when boxing was on regular television, and now with everything that's taken place with Al Heyman and these great fights that we have on regular television, like Garcia Peterson and Thurman Guerrero, I just wanted to get your thoughts of something that's kind of like a page out of your day.
Well, it could be a big deal for prize fighting to be exposed on primetime television. I think that Wilder's performance last weekend against Stavern could really give that experiment a boost. If he should get on national television once or twice and be able to build a fan base before to try to become a well-known heavyweight champion, which the American public has always been open to, whether they cared about prize fighting or not. So all this is good news for boxing, and the answers will come in the numbers. The numbers meaning, can they sell ads for those events, and how many people can they attract?
Now, I'm glad that you mentioned Wilder, because not many people will remember when Tyson Fury and Steve Cunningham, who's not a natural heavyweight, fought on NBC Sports last year. They did around $4 million. What would you imagine a fight like Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, two guys that are slick talkers, not afraid to say what's on their mind, and both produce a fair share of excitement in the ring? While Tyson Fury may not be the knockout artist that Deontay Wilder is, he is an excellent boxer for that size and length that he uses.
I don't know what it would do. I think if the fight were to be held in Great Britain, it would attract a very big crowd, live crowd, and television audience and revenue in Britain. I'm not sure yet what will happen with boxing in prime time in America. That hasn't happened for a very, very long time. I mean, back in the day, before HBO became the biggest distributor in boxing, boxing was on the weekends, daytime. It hasn't been on prime time for way longer than that. So maybe as an event that can be promoted, marketed big time by NBC on a Saturday night, which is not a major night for television. I'm as curious as the next person. I'm just glad that prize fighting has an opportunity, and hopefully they will make good matches and be able to build big fan bases for some of these fighters.
Yeah, Deontay Wilder could definitely change things around for boxing and the whole NBC thing as a whole. Are you excited to see Sugar Ray Leonard back commentating for this NBC series?
Well, I'm happy for Ray, who's an old friend, that he's got a gig. And I hope for his sake as well as ours that we get good fights, so that the fights are the stars.
Now, Larry, the last thing I'm going to ask you, I want you to allow me to read you a quote here. It says, hopefully it's Mayweather-Pacquiao on May 2nd. Of course, we're trying to make the fight happen between me and Pacquiao. We are negotiating. Absolutely, we are negotiating. But Pacquiao said that he agreed to everything. What did you agree to? You have no say. You have a boss. You have no say-so. You have a boss that's called Top Rank Promotions. It's not called Pacquiao Promotions. With my company, it's called Mayweather Promotions. Mayweather stated during an interview with Shady Radio. And while I should be happy, and so should the rest of the world, that he finally confirmed that there's negotiations, don't you feel like they won't go anywhere with this type of talk, the way that you're coming at your opponent, basically saying that he has no say-so in the negotiations, so he's not really part of it?
Stuff has been going on, obviously. When top management at Showtime and HBO have met to try to see if they can finesse their self-interests to make something happen or to allow it to happen, that's a positive step, theoretically. What Mayweather says, I don't pay any stock in it. This is all just negotiating. I don't know who Pacquiao is negotiating when he says he accepts all terms. It may be all terms from his promoter, Top Rank. What Top Rank wants from Mayweather Promotions or any of that stuff, we really don't know. What we do know is that the pay-per-view numbers of both fighters have been sliding, which is a way of the public saying in a negative way, we're not as interested as we once were. If you two guys fight, you can ignite our interest again. But I'm probably the last person on earth to ask about this stuff, because I've been wrong for 5 years when I thought the fight should have been made and could have been made and would be made. And I still assume that it will be made, but I really don't know when. I think that Showtime, which paid an awful lot of money for a 6-fight contract with Mayweather and has 2 more fights left and has been losing money on these fights, but as a kind of a loss leader to capture the most popular pay-per-view fighter in America, I think they want to make something happen. But I think it's a hard call in the negotiation. Back in the day when HBO and Showtime got together finally for the Lennox Lewis Tyson fight, HBO was in the position of having the younger, stronger fighter who was the favorite to win, and HBO was in a commanding position as the boxing network. Today, Showtime is closer to HBO, and Showtime has the favorite in the fight. What do they want to give up in this negotiation? The big prize is to get the delay broadcast, apparently. Who gets it? Back in the day, the winner of the fight, the network that had a contract with the winner of Lewis and Tyson, got the replay. It was Lewis who won, and HBO had the replay. Well, on that model, Showtime would be favored to get the replay. And I don't know that HBO can live with that. So it's very complicated, and both fighters are still making enough money without having to fight each other that they don't have to give away everything in order to make the fight.
Well, speaking of losses and decline in pay-per-view numbers, he had another good quote. We have been going back and forth communicating with their team. Hopefully we can make this fight happen. Once again, we have looked at his pay-per-view numbers. His last fight didn't even do 300 homes. Figures make sense. He did get knocked out not too long ago. No matter what you say, Floyd Mayweather is still winning. When they take shots at Floyd Mayweather, he's still winning and making hundreds of millions. We're going to make this fight happen, though. We're trying, but it's...
Who is this quoting?
This is Floyd Mayweather himself on a radio interview.
You know what? I don't know what the right numbers or the right deal is. That's not my expertise. But no matter what Pacquiao's numbers were last time or Mayweather's numbers, they do enter into the equation, obviously, which is why Pacquiao presumably is willing to accept 40%. But there's no fight without Pacquiao. So they've got to offer Pacquiao a deal, and vice versa. So, hey, I can't expert this. And the question is going to come up as what are the alternatives for them? What kind of money can they make for the alternatives? Mayweather, presumably Amir Khan, but I don't know. And
well, there is a lot of.
I'm tired of even thinking about it. Much less fantasizing about it.
There is a lot of chatter of a possible Cotto-Mayweather rematch. There's been a lot of rumors floating around. One rumor was that Cotto was offered $40 million, but his attorney definitely denied that. But he did say that they were open to the possibility and that they would be open to talking about a rematch with Mayweather. And as we know, he denied to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez on May 2nd, so he's definitely available.
I suppose some people have told me he could make just as much money for fighting Canelo as presumably he can make for fighting Mayweather, and have a better chance to win. We've seen that fight. We haven't seen Cotto and Canelo. And just as a fight fan, that's a fight I would prefer to see. What the dollars and cents of it is, I don't know. Cotto must think he's got a better shot elsewhere, but I don't know. I can't be inside his head or the negotiations or what's being ordered. So tell me something. If Cotto can have a deal to fight Mayweather, why is Mayweather talking about fighting Pacquiao and indicating that, well, he is so much of a bigger of attraction, he's got to get even more than 60-40, blah, 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 blah. Which is true? They can't both be true.
Well, the rumor or the assumption is that he's using Cotto as leverage not to allow Canelo to finalize the Cotto deal, because you know that Canelo was coming after Cinco de Mayo weekend, which is normally associated with Mayweather. Hey,
is that possible? Yes. What I heard was that Golden Boy said he's going to still fight on that date, presumably in San Antonio, where he's already drawn 40,000 people. And there are guys out there, that he could fight. What if he fought Timothy Bradley at the Alamodrome? They might have 50 or 60,000 people. So it's all what if, and I guess we'll find out soon enough, because the time is growing short where you can really start doing the promotion and marketing.
It sure is. Well, Larry, I don't want to take much of your time. I always appreciate it. Thank you for calling me back, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Good. Let's have another good fight this weekend.
I hope so. I'll be there live, actually.
All right. So long.
All right. Bye-bye.
The Boxing Voice.